start with the first topic. I have uploaded the syllabus. You can check it later. Maybe we'll have more time to discuss about the syllabus later. Okay. So actually, the first topic in the syllabus is about sequences. Okay. I guess this is not your first time to encounter sequences because in algebra, you dealt with sequences also. You have the I think you use the term progression, no, for the different arithmetic progression, geometric progression, and so on. So what we will be using as a term here is a sequence. Later on, we will consider also the concept of a series. So actually, this this topic will cover sequences and series. So sequences will just be a set of numbers. And then in a series, we get the sum of the sequences. So we'll start with the concept of a sequence. Sequence is just an extension of the concept of a function, where usually when we define a function, okay, so in algebra, for example, you usually define a function, for example, as f of x is equal to, let's say, 2x plus 3. Okay? So in this case, when we define it in the variable x, ang default assumption natin dyan is that the x, which is supposed to cover the domain of the function, will be a real number. It can be a fraction, it can be a whole number, it can be a decimal, it can even be actually a rational number. No? Now here, we shall consider the domain of the function limited or restricted to the set of integers, particularly the positive integers. In some books, they consider the natural numbers or the counting numbers only, which means you'll have to start at 1, but some other authors would start at 0. Okay? So there are sequences later that starts at 0. There are sequences that start at 1, particularly for sequences that take the reciprocals, no? Kasi if you have a reciprocal, the danger is going to be the 0 value. 1 over 0, for example, will not be defined. So necessarily, we'll have to start at 1. So here, what we will consider will be of the form f of n. Okay? So ang mangyari dyan, it will just be 2n plus 3. But when you write n here, it is assumed that n is a positive whole number. Okay? It's a positive whole number. So if you're going to define it that way, then you will form a sequence. Okay? You will be forming a sequence if the domain of the function will be limited to the set of positive integers, or possibly extending it to include 0, no? Yeah. So for example, in this illustration here, we are actually defining your function f at 1 is equal to a1, f at 2 is equal to a2, f at 3 equal to a3, and so on. And this will form what we call a sequence, where n is it starts at 1 and may extend to positive infinity. Okay? So take note that the a sub n's here are now in the range of the function. Okay? Okay, let's take a so in just to be more precise and to be more distinctive, although it is still a function, pero dahil specialized siya sa set of integers, the early mathematicians devised a way to represent it in a very unique yet useful manner. So ito yung ginamit na notation, yung subscript. So ang mangyari dito, instead of writing as f of n, it will now be written as a sub n. Okay? Yung yung independent variable is no longer enclosed in a parenthesis, pero nasa subscript siya. Okay? So halimbawa, ito, a sub n is defined as 3 plus negative 1 raised to n. So kumbaga, if you're going to look at this in the context, okay, in the general function, parang meron lang tayong f of x equal to 3 plus negative 1 raised to x. Okay? But this time, we are going to define the independent variable as just a whole number. Okay? Yeah. So, let me just use the original notation muna. So, halimbawa, f at 1, that will be a at 1. So, how do you get a sub 1? Which is the same as f at 1 kung in the context of a function, no? So, that means this is going to be 3 plus negative 1 raised to 1. Remember, the n is in the exponent. So this is going to be 3 plus negative 1. That is, this is as good as 3 minus 1. So this is going to be 2. Okay? What is f at 2? That's going to be a sub 2. And that is going to be 3 plus negative 1 squared. Okay? So parang function pa din siya, no? Dati, sa algebra, kung ano yung nasa whatever is inside the parenthesis, will take over the variable in the formula. Okay? But this time, whatever is in the subscript will be the value that takes over the variable. And our variable now is n instead of x. Okay? Yeah. So what happens here? This will be 3 plus 1, and so you'll get 4. What is f at 3?
3 minus 1.
Okay, this is going to be 3 plus negative 1 raised to 3. That is 3 minus 1, so this is 2.
So it's just going to be 2, 4, 2, 4.
Okay. And then f at 4 will go back to a4. That is 3 plus negative 1 raised to 4. That is 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. So therefore, if you're going to rewrite your sequence, okay, so ang sequence will take the form. Ito yung generic notation natin ng sequence a sub n is starting at 1, okay, up to positive infinity. So you'll just have to write what is yung a sub, ito dapat is a sub 1, a sub 2, a sub 3, and so on. But what we generated are the elements 2, 4, 2, 4, and so on. So that's the resulting sequence that can be generated from this formula. To be more precise, we call the formula the closed form formula or the closed formula. Any questions? Okay, let's look at the other example, b sub n. So, parang sa function din, kung trip mong tawagin f, then tawagin mong f. Kung gusto mong g, then g of x. Kung gusto mong h, h of x. But the name of the function does not matter. Okay? Ganon din dito. Pwede nyo gamitin a sub n, b sub n, d sub n, c sub n, and so on. As long as you maintain the same formula, then you will be generating the same values. Okay. So I will now avoid now, okay? I will be avoiding now using this notation to avoid confusion with functions that take the entire set of real numbers as domain. I will now use the subscript form, but I hope as I said, you will not deviate from the fact that the subscript form is still a functional notation. Okay? So with B sub n is generated by the formula n over 1 minus 2n. So what's going to be B sub 1? That is 1 over 1 minus 2 times 1. That is 1 over negative 1. So this is negative 1. What is B sub 2? That is 2 over 1 minus 2 times 2. Which is 1 minus 4. So, skip ko na lang yung ibang steps, no? So, that becomes 2 over 1 minus 4. So, that becomes negative 2 over negative 3, or that is negative 2/3. Okay? And then,
Negative 3 over 5.
okay, so it's going to be 3 over 1 minus 6.
And then
Okay, so you'll have negative 3, 5.
that's 4. And then negative 4 is 7.
Okay, B4 will be 4 over 1 minus 8. So that's going to be negative 4 over 7. Okay, and so on. So you can already generate. So if you are asked to find now, usually the question here, write the first 5 elements or write the first 3 elements, then you'll have to write it. Okay, Bn n from 1 to infinity. So what will be the resulting sequence? That is negative 1, negative 2/3, negative 3/5, negative 4 over 7, and so on. Okay? So that's the sequence. Okay? Okay, let's look at this. The terms of the C. So C sub n is n squared over 2 raised to n minus 1. Okay.
1 over 1, and then
That is 1 over 2 raised to 1 minus 1. Correct?
which is still 1.
That's still, actually, to be more precise, 1 squared over 2 raised to 1 minus 1. 1 over 1, which is 1. The first element is 1.
The second element is 4 over 3. And then the third element is 9 over 7. The fourth would be 6
Nakukuha nyo?
over 15.
What is C sub 2?
C sub 2 is 4 over 3.
2 is squared over 2 raised to 2 is squared minus 1. So that is 4 over 3. Sige.
And then the C sub 3 is 9
3 squared over
7.
2 raised to 3 minus 1. Okay? That is 9 over 7. Okay? Sige, last C sub 4.
16 over 15.
Okay. That 4 is squared, okay, which is 16 over 15, and so on. Okay. So you can write the sequence 1, 4/3, 9/7, 16/15, and so on. So the first three examples are, as I said, sequences that are generated by closed forms, meaning you can generate any instance of the sequence by simply substituting the corresponding subscript. There are also sequences that depends on the previous element. Ang tawag natin sa kanila ay recursively defined sequences, meaning you cannot get the, for example, you cannot get the 7th element if you don't know the 6th element or the 5th element, the 4th element. Ito kasi, halimbawa, dito sa last example natin sa C, okay? Kapag tinanong ko what is the 10th element, you can easily generate that. You just substitute 10 squared and then 2 raised to 10 minus 1 and you will get the value. That is because we have the closed form of the generating formula. Okay? But not all sequences have closed form. Instead, they have what we call the recursive definition. A familiar sequence that uses recursive nature is Fibonacci sequence. Okay. Fibonacci sequence is a set of numbers that are generated by the two preceding number. Okay. But anyway, we'll get into that later. Here, we define the initial value, D1 at 25, and then succeeding values are obtained by subtracting 5 from the preceding number. So for example, we are given D sub 1 is equal to 25. Your D sub 2,
20.
D sub 2, ba't ayaw magsulat?
Sir, your first one is on
Ha?
your first one is on.
Your D2 is,
20.
that's going to be D1 minus 5. So that means you have 25 minus 5. So that's going to be 20. Your D3, by definition, is D2 minus 5. And that's going to be
50.
20 minus 5 is 15. Okay? D4 will be D3 minus 5. So this is going to be 10. Okay? And so, now, I think it will not be mentioned here, but since you already mentioned about the Fibonacci sequence, the initial values are actually A sub 1 is 1 and A sub 2 is also 1. Okay? With the general formula, AN is equal to A sub n minus 1 plus A sub n minus 2. Okay? So for example, since A sub 1 and A sub 2 are already given, you can get A sub 3. Okay? You can get A sub 3 as A sub 2 plus A sub 1. So that's going to be 1 plus 1 and that is equal to 2. Your A sub 4 is going to be A sub 3 plus A sub 2. So that's going to be 2 plus 1. Okay? So actually, yung Fibonacci sequence has a practical history, no? It was actually done by a scientist. He bred two rabbits. He started with the pair of rabbit, and then after a week, after a month, yung pair of rabbit produces one pair, and so on. So yung na-generate niya na number of rabbits in a particular month corresponds to the Fibonacci sequence. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and so on. Okay.
They're both referred to that have like, there's a formula for it, but at the same time, they're.
Maybe you're looking at the series. Not yet.
What is the difference?
A series, for example, you are given, sige, para magkaroon lang kayo ng idea. In this example, this is the sequence, no? This is sequence. Now, if you're going to consider the sum of an from 1 to infinity, so you'll get here 2 plus 4 plus 2 plus 4, and so on. This is the series. We call this a series already. Okay, so series is the sum of the sequence. Okay. Ito naman, if you're going to add -1 minus 2/3 minus 3/5 minus 4/7 and so on, that gives you the series already. So if you're going to express as a sum, then it becomes a series. That's basically the difference between a sequence and a series. Okay, now we look at the behavior. We will now look at the behavior of the sequences. Okay, I think in your basic algebra, in your senior high school, I think you also talk about the types of sequences, no? Basically, you have 3 types of sequences. You have the arithmetic, geometric, and the harmonic. Okay, those are the 3. Of course, the Fibonacci is a special case, no? For sequences that take on a closed form, usually yun yung tatlo. But we will be talking about these 3 types when we go to series later. Okay? But again, sequences and series are very much related to each other. Okay, now let's look at the behavior of the sequences. For example, if you notice the behavior of the elements to be decreasing, for example, like in the case of case of a sequence where an is equal to 1 over 2 raised to n, which generates actually this sequence here, 1/2, 1/4. So this is when n is equal to 1, tama ba? When n is equal to 1, you get 1/2. When n is equal to 2, that is 1 over 2 squared is 1/4. When n is equal to 3, that is 1 over 2 cubed, and that is 1/8, and so on. Okay? You notice that, for example, if you're going to plot this, okay?
It draws really quickly. So,
okay. This is 1/2. This is 1/4. This is 1/8. So when n is equal to 1, you have this point here. When n is equal to 2, you have it at 1/4. When n is equal to 3, you have it at 1/8. And then it becomes actually asymptotic. So this is how we graph sequences. There are discrete points. Unlike Okay, unlike kung yung function, let me just point that out again. Kung yung function natin halimbawa ay f of x is equal to 1 over 2 raised to x, then ang magiging graph natin dyan will actually be a continuous curve. Okay, this is your this is the graph of the function. Pero kapag sequence siya, kapag discrete siya, we take it by points. Okay? Yan. So this is the graph of the sequence. This is the graph of the sequence. This is the graph of the general function. So it makes a difference when you have the domain as the set of real numbers and when you have the set of integers only as your domain. Okay? Now, this is a behavior. In terms of the behavior, for example, you can just imagine as we continue to increase your subscript, the point will be dropping towards the x-axis. Okay? Towards the x-axis. And therefore, we will say that the limit of the sequence is what? 0. Okay? Because it is dropping towards the x-axis, where y, the value of the sequence, becomes 0. Okay? So in this case, we can say, here that the limit of 1 over 2 raised to n as n approaches infinity is 0. We are actually interested, later on, we are interested on these types of sequences that they approach a certain number. Not necessarily 0, but they approach a certain constant number. And the general term that we will use is convergent. If there is a constant value that the sequence, the elements of the sequence approach, then we say that the sequence is convergent. Okay? Or in other words, if the terms of the sequence converges to a constant as n approaches infinity, then we say that the sequence converges. Otherwise, it diverges. Okay? It increases without bounds. So for example, what is an example of a sequence that will be divergent? Of course, we can look at b sub n as, let's say,
2n.
2 raised to n. Okay? So what are the elements here? 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1028, and so on. Okay, so palaki lang siya ng palaki. So this is divergent. Okay? Meaning, the limit of 2 raised to n as n approaches infinity is infinity. Okay? So that will define a divergent sequence. Okay? Now, unfortunately, the only way, okay? Unfortunately, the only way that we can see convergence right now is by taking the limits. Okay? But there may be other sequences later that cannot be evaluated, well, in terms of the convergence or divergence, cannot be assessed simply by looking at the limits. Okay? So there are ways later that we can consider. There are special results actually that you will see in the handout. By the way, this PowerPoint is already uploaded, so you can check it later. For example, the limit or the sequence 1 plus 1 over n raised to n. Let's just see what we are getting here. Okay, let's look at this sequence. Okay, let us write the elements. What is the first element? Huh? 2. Tama? It's going to be 2. What's the second element? Sige, a sub 2 is going to be 1 plus 1 half raised to 2. Okay? So that's actually
9 over 4.
3 halves squared. So that's 9 over 4. So that is 2.25. Okay? Your a sub 3 is 1 plus 1/2 raised to 3. 1/3. Okay? 1 plus 1/3. So that's going to be 4/3 raised to 3. That is 64 over 27. Can you check the 4 decimal equivalent of 64 over 27?
2.370. 370.
2.304. Okay. Sige. I-generate natin up to the 5th element. What is a sub 4? That is 1 plus 1/4 raised to 4. Okay? That is 5 over 4 raised to 4. This is 625 over 256. The corresponding is
441.
2.4414. Okay? Yung a sub 5 will be 1 plus 1/5 raised to 5. Okay? That is actually 6 over 5 raised to 5. Just give me the decimal now.
2.4883.
2.4883. And it actually continues to grow, to increase, but the increase becomes smaller and smaller. Okay? So remember this is a transcendental constant. The E is a transcendental constant which is equivalent to 2.718. Okay? 2.718. Or to be more specific, we call it the Napierian constant, no? Okay, we have familiar properties of the limit of a sequence here from the limit of a function. Okay, so halos pareho lang din naman. Okay, if you are looking at two sequences, come to think of looking at two functions. Okay, so the limit of the sum of two sequences will be the sum of the limits of the two sequences. Okay, which is actually the second one here, and then the multiple constant. Okay. Sige, maybe I'll end it here. Okay, let's look at the sequence an equal to n plus 1 over n. What is a sub 1? A sub 1 is 2. A sub 2 is what? 3 over 2 or 3/2. A sub 3 is 4/3 and so on. What do you think is the limit?
What?
Okay. So parang sa usual okay, ang question here is what is the limit of an as n approaches infinity? So this is going to be the limit of n plus 1 over n as n approaches infinity. How do you usually evaluate infinite limits in Math 146? You actually divide by n. Okay, you divide by n. So this becomes the limit as n approaches infinity of 1 plus 1 over n. Over 1. Pero pareho lang. Okay? So this becomes, you can apply the second formula. This becomes the limit of 1 as n approaches infinity plus the limit of 1 over n as n approaches infinity. Okay? The limit of a constant is what? The constant itself is going to be 1 plus the limit of 1 over n. Okay. The same, no? Kung ano yung limit ng 1 over x as x approaches infinity, pareho lang sa limit ng 1 over n as n approaches infinity. And in Math 146, it was shown that the limit of 1 over x as x approaches infinity is 0. So same, this must be 0. Okay? And so this is 1. If the limit exists, as I said, we say that an, which is n plus 1 over n, is, we say, convergent. Okay? It is convergent. As long as the limit exists, then it is convergent. Yes. Okay, let's look at a sequence. Bn is equal to 1 over n plus 1 minus 1 over n. What is the first term? What is B1?
-1.
Negative 1/2, right? What is B2?
-1/6.
Huh? That's going to be 1/3 minus 1/2.
-1.
That is negative 1/6. Okay. B3 will be 1/4 minus 1/3. This is negative 1 over 12, and so on. Now, what do you think will be the limit of 1 over n plus 1 over 1 over n as n approaches infinity? Okay. Which is obvious, no? From negative 1/2, negative 1/6, negative 1 over 12, it's dropping to 0 on the negative side. Okay? Well, if you do it analytically, of course, this becomes the limit of 1 over n plus 1 as n approaches infinity minus the limit of 1 over n as n approaches infinity. Okay? 1 over n and 1 over n plus 1 basically have the same behavior as n approaches infinity. So this becomes 0 minus 0, and this is 0. So what can you say? It is convergent. Okay? This sequence is also convergent. As long as it converges either to a negative number, to a 0, or the positive number, it is convergent. It becomes divergent only if it approaches positive infinity or negative infinity. Okay.